Well, I'm sitting in Ohio and I decided to take the Jeep, to leave the Jeep for later. So for now I just used a piece of timber, because you know normally you cannot take a neck like this, because the yeah, you see what I did here? Because you see, these things are too far, right? So they, like, the support cannot touch the frame. That's why you need the Jeep, right? But it's so much easier to hook up back to the trailer with this instead of when you have a Jeep. With a Jeep it's much harder. And so the machine is across the street. We found a way to reduce the width from 12.6 to 11.2. So the broker told me 12.6 wide, 12.10 tall. I saw that catwalk near the cab, and there's only a couple of bolts, so the guys didn't mind. I said, could you please take it off? And so the width will be 11.2, and I climb on the top and I measured the height. It's gonna be, instead of 12.10, it's 12.7, which is a huge difference. And there's a protection, there's a protective frame on the top, and I saw only 4 bolts in there, so I thought we can take it off. But then I noticed there's a railing on the other side which is the same height, so it's just too much work, you know. That railing can be taken off as well, but then the height will probably go down to 12. But you know, just there's a limit how much they can do. Like, they don't want to spend half a day on bolting the machine, and so 12.7 is okay. I can live with that. So I'll be 14 feet 5 inches tall. But 11.2 really makes my heart happy, you know. And what I did over the weekend, what I did Tuesday, like this was the grease fitting that was stuck, and basically they had to heat it, they had to take it out. I went to a small truck shop where they only charged 94 bucks an hour Canadian, and so they fixed that. And this thing was also all rusted. See, now it's see how now it's hard, right? But at least when it's moving this way, it's okay. But they found there's a lot of rust in there inside, even though I keep greasing this, but the grease didn't seem to penetrate this part. And so they did what they could, and so now at least it moves. But of course now it's stuck. But once you go here, it starts moving freely. And so that, fixing this and fixing that joint, cost me 600 Canadian. But it had to be done, otherwise then later you cannot do anything, you know. It still gets stuck, you know, I don't know why. But anyway, so you see, I have this timber, so now I'll be able to go back to the trailer and just drop the suspension, and that should go right in. All right, they took off the catwalk, and I just gotta get ready for the Jeep. So I took all the chains off, and I decided to see what's gonna happen. I kept all the old shims that I had. You see, I have more shims like than normal, because this machine, I suspect, is gonna put a lot of weight on the back, you know, and then you need more shims because it has a boom. And it's a pretty hefty machine, you'll see in a second. But it's it's called MT model because it can pull a trailer, so it's a beefed up spec. I saw a bunch of videos online where basically this machine pulls like a timber hauling trailer, and it can load that trailer like sky high. Then it can move it and unload it at you know, like at a different site inside the yard. Of course it cannot go on the road, but you know, when they need to move timbers from one spot in the yard to another, let's say somebody has a lumber yard, so this machine can be pretty useful. And it's super single tires, and at least the good thing is it has no grapple, no attachment. So just a long boom, and you know, we're gonna hide it between the tires. So that's the tallest point of the machine is that protective cage above the cab. So, and the width, yeah, like I said, the width is 11.1, but I'm asking on the permit for 11.2 now. I asked my lady to change the permit width because 12.6, that's not good. That's too many detours. Some places might ask you for an escort, you know. So 11.1 or 11.2 is definitely much better than 12.6. I wish I could have reduced the height, but it's just too much work. Okay, the catwalk is off. So, and they said a big difference, you know, it has these how we call them, you know, in Russia we call them lapy, or paws, you know, like a cat has paws. So this thing has these support legs, right? But there's a big square piece of metal that can be flipped this way or this way, because it has a pivot point there, and if they're flipped down, that's when the machine becomes 12.6 with the catwalk, right? So now there's no catwalk, it becomes, I think it's like 12 feet, and then they have to raise the cab because the cab is hydraulic. It goes up and down like the whole cab, so that when this guy loads near a big pile of timbers or a big pile of scrap metal, right? Because this machine can be used for anything, like lumber work, you know, like forestry work. It can be used for dealing with scrap metal when it has that special grapple or a magnet, you know. It has so many applications. And so, oh, my forklift is coming. So now they're gonna take off my my Jeep, and then we can load, and I'll hook up the Jeep after I hook up the neck. So basically we take the Jeep off, then we load, and then I hook up back to the trailer, drop the neck, and then I can hook up to the Jeep. So this way it's faster. Yeah, it's never easy, is it? But the guys are super helpful. I asked them to remove the catwalk. They didn't say a word. Except, yeah, we both agreed that the top part is just, it's useless because of the couple of handles, like railing on the other side. So that, like I said, if we remove the the protection over the cab, we have to remove that railing. It's like 2 hours probably at least, and they don't want to do it. And but the sidewalk near the cab, the sidewalk catwalk near the cab is removed, so it's all perfect. It's already getting dark, and I'm finally ready, and I have my Ohio permit, but Indiana is still not issued. And on the Ohio permit, it says police escort required at restricted structures, and restricted structures are bridges, and on the route they are shown in red. And so there's two bridges near the interstate where restricted means that I gotta go, like one bridge is 10 miles an hour and the other bridge 20 miles an hour. And so because of that, I need the police escort at those bridges. So basically that's about 20 miles. And I found the website for Ohio State Police, and then you have to find the post in your county. And I'm in Columbian County, and I called them. They said call at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Our secretary already left. And then I look, and actually those two bridges they are in a different county where I actually need the police escort. And so I called the first county. I think it was Stark County. That's where my first bridge is located. And the lady was still there, the secretary. They call him the secretary. Well, I guess it's receptionist. No, but she so we agreed that at 10 o'clock tomorrow the guy will be waiting for me near that bridge, which is 40 miles away. And I found a pilot. I need one civilian pilot. He's coming here. We're meeting at 8:30, like, just, you know, playing it safe so that we cannot be late for the cop, right? And this thing, there was no major issues. Loading, it's like, it was very sensitive. Like the guy didn't have to go, the guy didn't have to roll off the trailer. He just had to do a couple of corrective maneuvers, you know, like a couple of feet back. And I didn't use the outrigger boards because they were all busy. I had to use them in front of the trailer because this thing was hitting my ramps, you know. And so we had to put all kinds of boards in here. But so the only issue is this, because it's so long, you know, like where do you put it, right? I cannot put it just like that on the metal, because that's not good. And plus, see, like this thing, quite a few times this thing is a bit of a nuisance because it's so tall, right? Like because it has to be here because it works as a lever, right? Whereas like a Fontaine, I'm pretty sure it's much lower because all the cylinders are here. They don't have this, and so quite a few times this comes into play, you know, when I have a load like this, you see. And so at first I put one more timber, like 2.5 inches under that one, and then I measured, it was too tall, so I asked the guy to lift the boom again, and I took that timber out, so I left only one, and there's solid metal over there, and that it's sitting on a piece that is part of this. So I know that this is very strong, and yeah, I'll get rid of it tomorrow. So flags are on, signs are on, everything is secured. The paperwork says 97,000 pounds. The guy who bought this machine swears it cannot be more than 91. And I checked my gauges, I don't see too much weight. Like over here I use the like, I see the airbags are not like too badly squashed. I put position 1, of course, because I'm on, because of the height. Looks okay with all these multiple yeah, the airbags look okay. Like, I know the rear one is always a bit low, but the ground here It's very difficult to measure, because I think now this spot is taller, because I was getting one reading over there, but it's all uneven, so I moved here and it became even worse. But the tallest point is that connector over there. I try to get rid of it, but I can't. There's a super heavy, super stiff monsters, like big hydraulic hoses, and see that silver thing over there? I managed to move it away. Like it was sitting on, it has its own little pedestal, like a green thing over there. So it would have been, if it was sitting on top of it, it would be much taller. Well, not much, but maybe a couple of inches. But somebody hit it. I took a picture of it because I see the bolts where it's supposed to go in, they're broken, right? So that just proves that that's the tallest point of the machine. So yeah, we are tall, but I just need to get out of Ohio and Indiana, and after that we should be good, because over there they're not as sensitive about the height as here. Like here it's 14.6. After 14.6 you need a guy with a pole. So anyway, there's yeah, I'm still sitting across the street. At least parking is not a problem. I asked them if it's okay if I sleep here. If I stay here, they said, oh, no problem, nobody will bother you. And so now I just have my mask in case they need it. And there's I saw Ace Lumber. I don't need more lumber, but across the street from Ace Lumber is a gas station which open until 10. I need to go get some water. I ran out of water. And so yeah, so see, like over here, right? So I need one police escort, which is $164. That includes 4 hours. So anything 4 hours or less, it's a fixed $164. If it takes longer than 4 hours, they charge you $19 extra per hour. Don't know why 19, but I said this is just, that's why I want to meet the guy right at the bridge, because I saw on my route that's from bridge 1 to bridge 2, it's 20 miles, you know. So no way we're gonna be longer than 4 hours, right? So we only need them over there. But the police, the actual escort, the civilian one, my total miles are 300. On the permit it says 300 miles, and actually that's what I'm gonna do now. When I get back, there's quite a few detours, you know. I wanted to stay on US 30 all the way to I-57 or something, but I see, well, not I-57, Indiana line, but I see there's quite a few interchanges over there, you know. So now that's what I gotta do. I gotta open my computer, open the Google Maps, and probably write down my route like I always do on a piece of paper, because it helps me remember it.